So up next, I'd like to invite Paul Waiyaki from Africa VR Campus and Center. Right, so as he sets up, I won't ask you to stand again. You're looking at me, what? Yeah. So I want you to turn to your neighbor. It's become church. Turn to your neighbor and tell them one thing that stood out for you from the Africa Practice presentation. Just one thing. One thing. You've said 5 things. So let me ask somebody, one person who can tell me one thing that stood out, one thing that stood out. You can shout it from where you are. Oh, yes.
No, I think for me what stood out is this particular report, I think, finally speaks to the fundamental problem that, for the reason we are here, it addresses the actual problem we have, because we all have different solutions, and just seeing that someone has finally picked all that and figured out this is where your problem is, this is what you need, and this is the collaboration that is needed. I think that's what really stood out for me. This speaks to the African child.
Great. Thank you for that. Paul,
Hi.
you ready? Yeah.
1, 2, mic testing. Ladies and gentlemen, Africa VR is in the house, and we are just stepped in this discussion. Can you hear me? And I want to ask the gentleman, one of the gentlemen, let me choose one. Yeah, let me choose you back there with a colored shirt. What do you think this device is for? You don't know? You don't know what you use it for? All right, I'm going to tell you. So what do you think you use it for? Learning? Well, somebody going to say gaming. I knew you're going to say gaming. I'm going to teach you a different thing that we use this this device for. And I'm not going to give a lot of presentation. I don't want to do graphs and stats. I want to do, can we do a storyline instead? Can we tell a story instead now, right now, isn't it? So I'm going to do a lot of pictures and videos. I don't want to use a lot of graphs and charts and AI-generated, images. Let's do this real. Yeah. So my name is Paul Simon Waiyaki. I'm the founder of Africa VR Campus and Center.
Okay, hi everyone. I'm Diana Njeri. I am the co-founder of Africa VR Campus and Center, and also the director of XR Girls Africa, those girls that you can see over there. And the XR Girls Africa is a program by Africa VR Campus and Center, which is a digitalized economy and social program for young women in Africa. So thank you.
Did you know the XR industry amounts to $142.4 billion as of 2023 research by GradView Research? How many of you are earning from that? I'm putting a little bit of that in my pocket right now. Okay, and if you look at the global map, and this is the last chart that I'm going to use. I'd rather tell a story instead. Who is there? The Americas are using it. We are not. And if there was a speck of purple on Africa, it will be so tiny. Africa VR Campus and Center is representing that. I was the first African in the metaverse. Did you know the first African in the metaverse was a Kenyan? Yeah? I got in there experimenting then with that device. It was the Samsung Gear VR. It's not as complicated as this device. And by the way, if I say XR, know that it also comes with AI. I don't want to just keep saying XR and AI. And if I say XR, it means all the technology of virtual reality, mixed reality, augmented reality, and extended realities. Okay, I don't keep saying that, okay? And if I say the word metaverse, it means where I go when I wear this. So right now I'm in the metaverse. but you're not. So when I say XR, just know, it means virtual reality, extended reality, mixed reality, augmented reality, and AI comes together with that. So that's me experimenting with VR, and I started doing something no other African had done before, hosting African events in the metaverse. And guys were coming in there from all over the world and were asking, is this an African? Are you in Africa? They had to video call me so that I can prove that I'm in Africa. Because when in the metaverse, all they see is what we call an avatar, a cartoon version of yourself. But then we realized, what else can we do with XR? So the reason why we have that, this thing on half, because we realized we need to play a few videos for you. And this is 2022, and I was hosting a metaverse event called Kenya at the Ballot. I was live streaming what was happening then in the Kenyan election in the metaverse.
Have raised the bar in this election.
You remember this day, right? You remember the choirs at Bomas? I was live streaming them. When you guys were watching the elections, I was earning from it.
About the issues,
because every German, every Canadian who came in, I was like, hey, send me a few dollars. I'm in Africa. You know what?
That have always informed.
That is in the metaverse. It's being live streamed in the metaverse. But what else can we use VR for? Of course, that's why we are here. Ed tech, next gen tech in African education. And that is what we did.
Yeah, and Africa VR Campus and Center is determined to bring immersive learning in education to local schools. And this is what we are doing here. And one of the things that we have come to conclusion at is that VR is a tool that brings abstract concepts to life. I love what most of people are acknowledging here, that local schools in Africa are so crowded. You can get into a classroom and find that one teacher is teaching almost 150 students. And that is good not to shy away from that problem, because we'll come to find a solution to solve that. And so what can we do with virtual reality in education? Most of the students who are doing science subjects learn about animal and plant cells, but they've never seen it because they are tied into that old way of learning, textbooks and drawing diagrams on the blackboards. But in virtual reality, a student is able to immerse themselves in a plant cell, in an animal cell, and then in turn be able to draw that cell and name it as it should be. For example, or imagine a student who wants to experience solar system or to explore it, but they don't know how, or they don't have the tools. When they take virtual reality, they are immersed in the solar system and they are able to see it and answer any questions that comes with that subject.
And can you forget that when you're immersed in a plant and animal cell? And I hope STEMstastic is going to give us a booth. We are going to pay for it. If you want to see it, just come. Find us. We are going to find our own booth out there. And who saw us doing this? The United Nations. And one of their sustainable goals is, of course, quality education. And that is what they thought Africa VR Campus and Center was doing. And in 2021, they came up with this project called Metaverse for SDGs. I didn't know then that what I do for passion, I can be resourced to do it. So they sent me a few devices my way, and they paid my ticket, and there we are on Diana and our little son there. We went all over, getting paid to go around teaching what you love doing. That was the best time of my life, 2021, wow. And what did we teach? We taught community leaders who actually are having community projects, their SDGs projects in their community neighborhoods, their sustainable development goals. And our idea was, who are you going to present it to? If you have an idea in your community, and I know all of you are community leaders, who are you going to present it to? If you post it on Facebook, only your Facebook friend will see it. But if I bring you into the metaverse, people are in Canada, they are in New York, and they are able to come and see what you're doing without leaving their living rooms. And that means straight funding to you without any form of transportation whatsoever. And so we onboarded professionals, and also this one hit me deep, that we are at par. In fact, I'm ahead of many American institutions. And so the picture there on the right, those are students in a RISE program in London. I was paid $500 an hour to onboard them in XR, but I was in Kikuyu, in my bed actually. I didn't leave bed, because, you know, wearing this, I don't need to leave my bed. 120 students. 4 of those students were Kenyans. Can you imagine their surprise when they came in and I'm reading their name, Moses Kenothi, and I'm asking, and the guy was shocked because he was onboarded in XR by a Kenyan who is in Kenya and is in London. He went all the way to look for education. Education was just next door. And of course, teachers. The picture on the left is Makini Schools, somewhere in Nairobi. And this is our honorary mention at the HQ, New York. I'm hoping this is going to run, and then let's see whether it's going to play. Just to give you an idea. Internet is down. All right, no problem. We're going to go along. But we didn't just leave people when we go and onboard an XR. Every part we went to, we left a foothold. And so you see Cameroon there, Zambia, Nigeria, and Zimbabwe are represented. And then back home, Diana, take it up.
Yeah, and this picture just shows a typical classroom of a local, school. And you may wonder, what do you do next after you take an outreach to a local school? Do you just pack up your devices and leave? No. In those outreaches, we pick students who show genuine interest in immersive learning, and we dedicate them to an XR VR syllabus. Of course, we don't only teach about XR, we also incorporate these studies with digital literacy classes. When we pick these students, we bring them to our campus, and we divide them into groups. So now we have launched XR Girls program, XR Kids program, and XR Teams program. They all learn about XR and VR education. What are the accomplishments that these initiatives have accomplished? One, they have gone to different summits here in Nairobi. They have talked to different people of what they do. Here they are wearing their headsets. They have managed to create their own events in the metaverse. So Paul started by saying that he was the first African in the metaverse, and he hosts metaverse events. So what do? We also teach them how to host these events and feature people from different parts of the world and talk about issues that they face in their communities and how they can come up with solutions to solve it. So here is one of the memorable events that I will never forget. They hosted this man right here from Cambodia to come in their metaverse event and showcase an art exhibition to commemorate his mother who died during the Khmer Rouge regime, right? We are all conversant with that war in Cambodia. And so what virtual reality did there, it brought history back to life. So it's not just about showcasing art. You can bring history back to life, and that is what I love when we are using virtual reality with education.
And they didn't just host, by the way, that's a new, it's also an art exhibition in the metaverse. Every cartoon you see there, do you see men in cartoon form? Those are people wearing VRs from across the world. Do you see how well attended that event was? Then they're hosting a man from Cambodia tell a story about how his mother died in 1975. Some of their mothers were not even born in 1975. What would it have costed us for that guy to bring all his art gallery to Nairobi to host that event? We did it each in their own living rooms. And then there was a problem of internet, of course. These devices use a lot of data. And we told Elon Musk, hey guy, we don't have internet here. And SpaceX donated for us a Starlink. Please give a hand to SpaceX. This was the Starlink was available in Nairobi. I'm not the one who connects.
Hello, my name is Diana Njeri. I am the Associate Director of Africa VR Campus and Center. And today...
Yeah, we're not going to watch the whole thing. But look at the students connecting the Starlink. And look, it's on a tin hat. It's on a tin hat. A tin hat with a Starlink on the roof. Wonderful. And all of us, don't forget, we are doing it why? We are receiving it why? Because we are in the metaverse. And you may ask also, how do we use XR and AI? Very quickly, we integrated clones of ourselves in the metaverse. And this is me in the metaverse, communicating with clone of myself. And Diana, this is a clone of myself. He is an AI. And next to it is Diana. Let's hear what the AI will say.
The Gen Z protests in Kenya,
You asking about the
also known as the Kwahaki movement, are a call for justice and equality in the country. I think it's heartening to see young...
Do you think the AI Diana is more beautiful than the original one? Let me tell you guys, let's pause there for a minute. We had to ask ourselves, are we teaching these girls something good? In 2021, the Girls STEM Institute in Oregon, USA, came up with a business competition in the metaverse. And they reached out to me and they said, hey, you've been teaching your girls, but can they match up with their peers across the world?
Yeah, and they were the first girls in Africa to step in the metaverse and compete in such a prestigious competition. They were not the only ones there, by the way. They were competing with girls from UK, Finland, Canada, US, and surprisingly, they grasped an award for Best Real Impact. They were pitching their dream project of making reusable sanitary pads, which we hope that they will make that dream come true.
Give them a hand. They won in the metaverse. They won peers from the United States who are born with mouse and tablets in their hands. And here they are receiving the award in the metaverse. I recorded this in the metaverse. I can imagine how proud I was as a teacher.
Thank you so much just for the opportunity to give us a new aspect of collaboration. I really appreciate being.
Congratulations, Team 1. You did an awesome job. And we hope to hear more from you in the future about how you're going to implement this project. Thank you.
Each avatar you see there is a person. It was 3 a.m. for them. So you are in the tin hat.
Awesome. Moving on to the next award then, the Social Impact Award.
Add something here that
this again, such hard decisions, but we gave this award to the African Power Girls.
No electricity,
congratulations
but they dedicated themselves to learning about
the Social Impact
XR
Award.
technology. And you can see now
African
they are able to
Power
move
Girls,
freely.
please come on stage.
How to use the controllers. Do you have the controllers?
Yes, they are there.
How
So they are the
use-
girls going to the stage.
How to use these headsets.
They are walking in the metaverse. Do you see that?
Yeah.
Going to receive the award in... Who is that? Is that Zainab? Walking up the stairs? All right. Give them a hand for winning the best social impact. And those are their certificates.
Yeah, and they did not only win that, competition for metaverse in business, but they have also gone to higher learning institutions to teach graduates. This is KCA universities where they meet students and they talk to them about virtual reality. Here we can see them in iHub also talking about virtual reality.
But we also had to ask ourselves a question. What about sustainability? Can we earn in the metaverse? Because yes, we are teaching the girls something good. It's STEMstastic. But can they earn from it? And we learned a trick. What Zainab is doing there with her phone is photogrammetry. And she's basically scanning an artist, item in 3D. And then the picture on the right, we upload it in the metaverse. Have you ever gone to a fundraiser in Kenya? I don't know about the rest of the African countries, but they sell you a handkerchief for $50 when you're doing a fundraiser. So we do the same. A basket in Nairobi costs probably $20, right? But we sell it for $200 in the metaverse because it's a fundraising, you come to the metaverse as a fundraising concept. And these are their clients. They are not selling to the Mama Boga next door. They are selling to Karen Alexander in California and Julie Smithson. And some of those guys have said, we've had enough of meeting you in the metaverse. They are coming to the ground to meet us in the village, as happened the other day. You can see them. They are coming out to see the projects we are doing on the ground. And some of our students have also flown. We have got 2 students in UK and a scholarship program. And yeah. So what happens when we sell these items in the metaverse?
Yeah, so we have to open bank accounts for them so that they can learn how to be responsible with their money. So for example, from the Africa. Yeah, we have incorporated people who are familiar with financial literacy classes, and they've come to the metaverse and they've given them master classes, and you've seen the certificates that they received. Here they are being taught by Family Bank. They helped us a lot in teaching them about banking and all that. Here is one of our students using the ATM machine, and now they are able to go in the bank, withdraw, and the amount of money they want to cater for their own needs. And yeah, that's sustainability.
Sustainability at its best. Getting a little bit of dollars in your pocket out of STEM. But yes, like I said earlier, we have guests who are also arriving at the campus to see what exactly these students are doing. And this is the global outreach of Africa VR Campus and Center. And you can see the number is increasing. The problem we have is not the spaces. The problem we have is oversubscription, because our youth are desperate and they want another alternative. We are also collaborating with a lot of people. I don't know why the Ministry of Education Kenya is not on that list. I have lectured Harvard University twice. Can you imagine? Harvard guys don't know how to use XR, so they have to call a guy in Africa and ask him, hey, how are you using XR? There is York University there in Canada. There is University of Georgia, who, by the way, gave me a scholarship called the Africa Civic Engagement Academy. We have got Space Kite there, which is affiliated with Virgin Galactic, because the next item is also connecting XR and space or astronomical sciences. We have done a lot of keynotes. This is the first Meta Summit at KCA, and many international roundtables that we are doing, moderating them and bringing the whole world into the question of how can we use XR for social good and for social change. Diana have also done her share.
Yeah, so this was one of the guided virtual adventure by Immersive Learning Research Network that I did last year. We have also been invited in prestigious summits. This is South by Southwest that was hosted in Austin, Texas. And we have worked with groups of women in the metaverse. One of them is called XR Women. We have hosted events there. We have shared our expertise and our experiences. And also there's another one called Immersive X. We have gone there and shared our story and our experiences.
And you're also bringing astronomy in Africa for the first time, because you don't have a lot of space agencies in Africa, isn't it? How do we grow astronauts in Africa? And so we are collaborating with many space companies to open that platform for our students. And so we've had global recognition there. Diana herself won Real World Impact Award last month in Long Beach, California.
Big time, yeah.
And if you had time, by the way, you can meet us in the metaverse. Your phone, your PC, or if you have a VR headset, every Thursday at 10 p.m. Nairobi, we open our world to the public. So see me later and see how you can install that. We would have talked more, but time is up. Yeah.
Right. Let's appreciate Paul, Diana, and the XR girls. So in the interest of time, I will take one question. One.
Diana and Paul, thank you for your presentation. Probably my question will be, is there a particular age entry to join the campus? Also, do you do your learning in different stages or categories? Yeah.
Yeah, we have no age limit, although the creators of this device suggested that the minimum age is 9 years. But I'm telling you, my son started using this device at 2 years. 2 years old, and we're still using it. So, and in regards to where we are, whether we are in a primary school or a secondary school or a university, we know what category of study that we can affiliate the VR to. So for example, when you go to talk with medics in the hospitals, you show them content that, of course, talk about medicine or anything affiliated to medicine. When you go to civil engineers, you play content that is connected with civil engineers. So different content for different professionals, for different demographics.
All right, thank you. For the other question and any other questions, we'll save it for the end of this session. So thank you again, Paul and Diana. We can appreciate them as they come off the stage, and yeah, we can appreciate them, all of us. Thanks. So I'd like to invite